All right, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by saying Barakah Yahawah, Barakah Yahawahshi, Barakah Yahawah, Bahashim Yahawahshi, Bahashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders from the bosses of Great Millstone, and enough respect to the brothers that are out there pushing and spreading the truth, which is the gospel of Yahawahshi Yahawahshi to the four corners of the world. Now, through the spirit and power of Yahawahshi Yahawahshi, there's a video that I watched a while ago. It's entitled "The Capitalist Conspiracy Documentary Conspiracy," and I'll post the link in the description once I'm done. And pretty much straight to the point, this is more of Esau talking shit. All right, and we're gonna bring out a few scriptures, and because I think he's trying to like cast doubt, and then he's trying to plant fear, in the minds of the people. But those that believe in the power of Yahawah Shai, and those that wholeheartedly trust in Yahawah Shai, we are not subject to that. So we're gonna get right into it.
Dr. Carroll Quigley is a professor of history at Georgetown University. He is the author of the widely used textbook, Evolution of Civilization. He is a member of the editorial board of the monthly periodical, Current History. He has been a frequent lecturer and consultant for such groups as the Industrial College of the Armed Forces, the Brookings Institution, the U.S. Naval Weapons Laboratory, the Naval College, the Smithsonian Institute, and the State Department. Dr. Quigley also has been closely associated with many of the family dynasties of the super-rich. He is, by his own boast, an insider with a front-row view of the world's money power structure. When Dr. Quigley wrote this 1,300-page book of dry history entitled Tragedy and Hope, it was obvious that it would never be read by the masses. It was intended for the intellectual elite. And to such a select readership, Dr. Quigley cautiously exposed one of the best-kept secrets of all time. But he also made it quite clear that he was an extremely friendly apologist for this group, and that he fully supports their goals and purposes. On page 950, Dr. Quigley says, "I know of the operations of this network because I have studied it for 20 years and was permitted for 2 years in the early 1960s to examine its papers and secret records. I have no aversion to it or to most of its aims, and have for much of my life been close to it and to many of its instruments. In general, my chief difference of opinion is that it wishes to remain unknown." Dr. Quigley points out that during the past 200 years, while the peoples of the world gradually were winning their political freedom from monarchies, the major banking families of the world were nullifying the trend toward representative government by setting up new dynasties of political control, but behind the scenes, in the form of international financial combines. These banking dynasties had learned that all governments, whether they be monarchies or democracies, must borrow money in times of emergency, and that by providing such funds from their own private resources, with strings attached, of course, gradually they could bring both kings and democratic leaders under their control. Dr. Quigley believes that people should be more familiar with the identities of these clever banking dynasties. They include such names as Baring, Hambros, Lazard, Erlanger, Warburg, Schroeder, Seligman, the Spires, Mirabeau, Mallet, Fuld, and above all, Rothschild and Morgan. It should be noted that while the Rothschilds and other Jewish families cooperated together in these ventures, this was by no means a Jewish monopoly, as some have alleged. Men of finance of many nationalities and many religious and non-religious backgrounds collaborated together to create this superstructure of hidden power. Its essence was not race, nor religion, nor nationality. It was simply a passion for control over other human beings. Dr. Quigley identifies this group simply as the international bankers. These are not the same as the local commercial bankers with whom we deal in everyday life. International bankers deal not with the general public, but with the industrial giants of the world, with other financial institutions, and especially with governments. The key to their success has been to control and manipulate the money system of a nation, while letting it appear to be controlled by the government. The net effect is to create money out of nothing, lend it to the government, and then collect interest on it. A rather profitable transaction, to say the least. For example, in 1694, international banker William Patterson obtained the charter of the Bank of England, and the power over England's money system fell into private hands. In a boastful mood, Patterson said, "The bank hath benefit of interest on all monies which it creates out of nothing." 230 years later, Reginald Mackina, British Chancellor of the Exchequer, said, "The banks can and do create money, and they who control the credit of the nation direct the policy of governments and hold in the hollow of their hands the destiny of the people."
All right, that is enough. We're gonna get into the book. This is supposed to be real quick. I'll be done with it in like 10 minutes, maybe even less. All right. All right. Shalom, in this likeness, Yahawahshi. I couldn't really, respond because I don't want to interrupt the video. But the book. Why did I switch it back? Hey, Satan's been messing with my. All right. So it says Dr. Carl Quigley, right, is a professor of history at the Foreign Science School of Georgetown University. Okay, blah blah blah. This is his credibility. It says when Dr. Quigley decided to write his 1,300-page book called Tragedy and Hope, he knew he was deliberately exposing one of the best secrets in the world. As one of the elite insiders, he knew the scope of this power complex, and he knew that its leaders hope to eventually attain total global control. Furthermore, Dr. Quigley makes it clear throughout his book that by and large, he warmly supports the goal and purposes of the network. But if that is the case, why would he expose this worldwide conspiracy and disclose many of his most secret operations? Right? Obviously, the disclosing of the existence of Mammoth Power Network, which is trying to take over the world, could not help but arouse the vigorous resistance of the millions of people who are its intended victims. So why did Dr. Quigley write this book? His answer appears in a number of places, but is essentially forceful and clear on pages 979, 880. He says, in effect, that it is now too late for the little people to turn back the tide. In a spirit of kindness, he is therefore urging them not to fight the noose which is already around their necks, the nerves of these devils, man. He feels certain that those who do will only choke themselves to death. On the other hand, those who go along with the immense pressure, which is the beginning to be felt by all humanity, will eventually find themselves in a man-made millennium of peace and prosperity. These devils are trying to what? They are trying to create they're trying to create their own kingdom, and they're trying to do that, what they're trying to do that without the Most High. They're trying to establish a kingdom in which the Most High has not set himself. That's one thing about these Edomites. They don't just want the birthright. They want the birthright, but they don't want it they want it without the Most High in it. And they are so proud that they feel as if they have established the world and that they have prospered and they have victory. I tried to explain this in camp, but I felt I was all over the place in the camera, and everything was off today. But these devil really feels that they actually have victory in this world. They actually have a foothold, in what they've set out to do. Because one thing you have to understand is that we are not emerging into a new world order. We are already in a new world order. What they are trying to do is trying to perfect this new world order, And what they just said, they said that, they've already got the people, they've already got the noose around the people's neck, and all they have to do is just tighten it. The people shouldn't fight. It's too late to turn the tides. That is what they're saying to themselves. But they didn't keep this was written a while ago. But they didn't keep accounting to the fact that the Most High was going to bring out a new awakening. The Most High was going to set out his elect. The Most High was going to set out his saints out there to fight against them establishing their new world order. You know. So they were boasting in their money, and all I have to do is go into Psalms, the 49th chapter. Let me turn the camera right now. Back camera. This is Psalms chapter 49, starting from verse 1. It says, "To the chief musician, a psalm of the sons of Korah. Hear this, all ye people, give ear, all ye inhabitants of the world." So this message is for every soul upon the entire planet. It says, "Both low and high, rich and poor, together. My mouth shall speak of wisdom, and the meditation of my heart shall be of understanding. I will incline my ear to a parable. I will open my dark sayings upon the harp. Therefore, wherefore should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my heel shall compass me about?" There ain't no reason for nobody in the right mind. There ain't no reason for anybody who believes in Yahawahshi to fear this. These men are just talking shit. You understand? They have not perfected the new world order. They are not invincible. The Most High will overthrow them utterly, completely. All right? They trust in their wealth and boast themselves in a multitude of their riches. None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. So their soul, the very thing that is at stake, the very thing that the Most High has power over, they cannot release their grip from. You know, they are tethered to the control of the Most High. The Most High has absolute control of a man's soul, of a man's destiny. And that is one thing these men, no matter how much money they have, no matter how much blood they spill, no matter how much army, how many men how many men they command, they will never be able to undo it. You understand? They trust in their wealth and boast themselves in a multitude of their riches. None of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. Right? So the very thing that they are trying to protect themselves against, in actuality, they have not done that. The very thing the Most High is bringing destruction upon this place, and a man needs salvation. The Most High has to grant salvation for your soul, for you to be delivered from that day, for you to be exempt for that judgment, and that salvation no money can buy. The amount of money a soul, the scripture says that a soul is precious. It's too precious for money. It's too precious for gold. That's why Peter made that statement that I'm gonna get that right now. Hey man, so let me see. It's like what I'm gonna do is right, okay. Just go to references. What? All right, hold on. Oh, okay, come on. Just stay with me for a moment. I'm trying to get this. You know what? I'm wasting too much time. I'll post it in the description. It's kind of escaping my mind right now, but nevertheless, the chapter that I'm in right now will still hit on that point. All right. I don't want to hold it too long. Just let the spirit flow. Um, right. So it says, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, for the redemption of their soul is precious and it ceases forever. So you can't buy a soul, man. You can't buy your salvation. You know, you're just gonna keep bringing shit that's not enough. 49 verse 9, it says that he shall still live forever and not see corruption. That's right. So no man can buy. No, this is what they are terribly afraid of. This is what they're trying to prevent. I don't know why they're boasting, because they have not undone this. They have not bought immortality. They have not bought salvation. They have not bought the love of Yahawahshi, and they have not bought the love of Yahawah. Why? What are they boasting for? Esau, Edom, what are you boasting about? Hey, man. Uh, for he sees that men shall die. All right, Shalom, men of honor. 144, Shalom, Yahawahshi, Meshach, Barakatha. It says, their inward thought is that their house shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generation. They call their land after their own names. Esau, Edom, man. Nevertheless, man being in honor abideth not. He is like a beast that perish. You know, this their way is their folly, yet their prosperity approve their saying. That's because they have money, they don't see the folliness. It's like when a celebrity comes and talks, just say a bunch of nonsense, but somehow people's mind are turned off from common sense. Sometimes they say certain things, and you like, my, in the name, like, come on, man, how is this common sense? But then you have a lot of he'll have like entourages cheering him on, just because he's a celebrity or she's a celebrity, you know. And so not only is your money not going to be enough, Esau Edom, the Most High is going to take what you have. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 15. It says, verse 13, it says, thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit upon a mount of congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake the kingdoms? You will be brought far low, man. You will be brought so low that it's gonna take like a convincing. It's gonna take like an effort to tell, like to explain to people who you were back in the days. That's how far you're gonna fall. That's how low you're gonna fall. I see that. I see this, man. Hey, Tawadi Yahawahshi Shai for this precept. Galatians chapter 5 verse 25. If we live in the spirit, live also. Let us also walk in the spirit. Galatians 5 and 26. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another and envying one another. That's right. So this thing is a spiritual thing, man. You know, let us not be desirous of vainglory, because that vainglory it ain't the most important thing, man. It ain't the thing that's gonna grant us the greatest thing. Vainglory is not gonna give us like unlimited riches, which is in the kingdom. Vainglory ain't gonna give us what immortality, which is in the kingdom. Vainglory is not gonna give us the love of Yahawah Shai. Vainglory is not. As a matter of fact, Yahawah said what? It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle, right, than for a rich man to see the kingdom of heaven. Psalms 9:15, the heathens are sunk down into the pit that they made, and the nets which they hit, right? They hit in their own the net in which they hit, is their own for taking. That's right. So continue. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Yeah. No, I'll be there in a minute. Okay. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee. Jump down. It says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. So the very thing that you're boasting about, Esau, Edom, it will be stripped away from you. It will be taken away from you. You know, you are a vile being. You don't. They ain't nothing proper fit for you. That's why the only thing that's left for you is slavery and extermination. They ain't nothing left for you. There ain't nothing good left for you. You don't deserve anything other than that, and much worse. I just wanted this to be quick, man. Yeah, the nerve of these devils, man. I'm gonna read it one more time. Hey, these guys are crazy, man. All right. It says, his answer appears in a number of places, but it's especially forceful and clear on page 997 to 80, page 980. He says, in effect, that it is now too late for the little people to turn back the tide. In a spirit of kindness, he is therefore urging them. What did the scripture says? The tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. This is his kindness. It says, in the spirit of kindness, he is therefore urging them not to fight the noose, which is already around their necks. He feels certain that those who do will only choke themselves to death, right? On the other hand, those who go along with the immense pressure, which is the beginning to be felt by all humanity, will eventually find themselves in a man-made millennium. This immense pressure right here, they brush it off as though it's nothing, but what they're actually planning to do is they're planning to kill a lot of people. They're planning to put a lot of people to death. They're planning to sacrifice a lot of people for this new world order. Romans chapter 12, verse 10 says, be kindly affectioned one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another, right? But we all know these devils ain't gonna follow that. These words mean nothing to these devils. So it says, on the other hand, those who go along with the immense pressure, which is the beginning to be felt by all humanity, will eventually find themselves in a man-made millennium of peace and prosperity. A complete lie, too. Peace and prosperity, it just means slavery. Once your mind is brought, once your mind is broken down, once you belong to us, that's when we'll leave you alone. That's essentially what they're saying right now. You know, I had hoped this to be a 10-minute video, but you know, the spirit had to it went further than that. Hey, this is just Edomites talking shit, man. They ain't nothing for it's you know, no man, you know, who is in Yahawahshi should be scared. Nobody should be scared of these devils. These words that he spoke, those are the words of a foolish man. Nobody should be shook. Nobody should second guess the power of the Most High at all, whatsoever. You know, Psalms chapter 49, verse 5. Wherefore should I fear in the days of the evil, when the iniquities shall compass me about? Why should I fear? We have Yahawahshi on our side. Why should I fear? You are losing your kingdom. You are losing your riches. Why should I fear? You know? Again, man, it seems as though these devils, they actually think they are winning. But what's actually going on is that the Most High is actually yet to fight the battle. What he's actually doing right now, he's just grooming his warriors. That's all he's doing. All he's doing is grooming his warriors. When the battlefield is set, when he lift up the standard against you, we will see how much shit you're talking then. And I hope, man, may the Most High, may we all have the privilege of being the vessel of the Most High, witnesses of Yahawahshi. May we all have the privilege of being the ones whom the Most High used to show his power in this world. You know, when we have on the faith, and we have when our faith is complete, when we have on the full armor of God, may the Most High count us worthy and bestow his power upon us and put us in a battlefield and search these devils out and bring them forth, man. Hey, I hope edification goes out to the brothers that are watching. I'm gonna say Shalom, Yahawahshi, Mashah, Brakatham, the water for all the precepts, for for all the comments, the helpful comments, actually, the definitions, knowing that I see all these things. I appreciate all these. Shalom. May the blessing of affliction be upon our house, man. And like I keep saying again, I actually wish for the Most High, like, right, for us to be the ones, the battle axe of the Most High, for us to be the one, man, whom may the Most High groom us and make us a perfect vessel for his power, that we may put all these nations, man, the pride of all these other nations, these Hamites, these Moabites, these Ammonites, Edomites, Elamites, all these other nations. So may the blessing of election be upon our houses. And on to the next one. Shalom.